What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Noob. So, I know I usually post a video out on Thursdays and Tuesdays, but I missed yesterday because I was deep in conversation with a friend, but that doesn't matter today. What matters is the news that came out afterwards. The news is that Spider-Man will be in the MCU at least for one more movie as of right now. Yes, folks, Sony and Marvel finally came to an agreement, and our boy Spider-Man will be back in the MCU. Now, of course, I'm not truly surprised. Yes, it was kind of a bummer when they said that Spider-Man wasn't going to be in the MCU. We all knew that the contract was kind of short-lived. Even Feige said that it wasn't meant to last, but we all kind of knew that Spider-Man will be coming back. Now, if you have been living under a rock and have no clue what we're talking about, basically, a little while ago, right after the latest Spider-Man film came out, Far From Home, Sony and Marvel had a falling out. Basically, Marvel/Disney wanted to change the contract. The original contract was, during the Spider-Man filmings, they would produce, have Kevin Feige, and they would take care of making the movie, and Sony would be the producers and distributors and blah, blah, blah. And then from there, what happened was Disney would get 5% of the sales on day one and keep all the sales profit from the merchandising. Now, Spider-Man has done well in his two films. His two solo films, he was in both Infinity War, Endgame, and Captain America Civil War. So that was, what, 5 movies with Marvel? Disney knew they had a good way to make money off of this, and Sony was doing great. So Disney came out and said, hey, look, we want to change our contract a bit. Instead of you paying most of the bill, you paying the money and we producing it, and we only getting 5%, let's do 50-50. We'll both put in money, share the bill, and then we'll both share the profits. Now, Sony, for some strange reason, and we all know it all has to do with money, said, no thanks, we'll take our Spider-Man back. And then it was all back and forth. It was, you know, Disney came out with this deal, and Sony would go, no, and blah, 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 back, forth, and then blah. It was, okay, we don't have an agreement. Fergie's going to be too busy, especially with him bringing in the X-Men and all the other franchises that we got from Fox. So it seemed like Spider-Man was no longer going to be in the MCU. It's no surprise that they came to a contract. Sony knows that they got a good character. Marvel did so well, they knew they had to get him back, especially since it was rumored that a lot of things that were going to be happening in the Stage 4, whatever they're calling the next thing. So we know that Spider-Man would have to come back unless they wanted to do a whole lot of reworks, especially at that surprise ending at the end of Far From Home.
Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker. What the
So after many, many talks and finally some agreements, it seems that Marvel and Disney has come together to say, okay, we can at least get Spider-Man in for one more film in the MCU. For now. What does this new contract include? Well, I've been looking through a lot of the articles, and from what I can gather, it seems that now Marvel will get 25% of the profit. It looks like all around, not just day one, but they are keeping all the profits from the merchandising. This, it's good, let's face it. Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Homecoming, they did well, so Disney/Marvel is going to be making a bit more money. Sony gets back the basically the production team that helped make Spider-Man so good. It's a win-win for everybody. It's really no shock. And of course, fans are excited. Tom Holland and Zendaya, is that how you pronounce his name? I hope that's how you pronounce it. Pardon me if I pronounced it wrong. But they're happy with it. They gave a little comments of how they are glad that they're back in the MCU, so it's good. Right now, it looks like the next film that it's going to include Spider-Man is slated for, I believe, summertime of 2021, which is okay, but the cliffhanger that they left was kind of, that means we're going to have to wait for 2 years to find out how Peter Parker is going to deal with this. But there's also been other hints that possibly more characters from Sony will be able to cross over to the MCU. It's only rumors, but supposedly since the whole Spider-Man thing worked out, other characters that Sony owns might be able to make a bit of a crossover to the MCU. Now, of course, what characters you might be thinking? There's, of course, Venom, but I don't know how that's going to go because some people liked it, some people didn't. I liked it. There's Morbius, which they're working on. And there's so many other characters that could be making their way to maybe sneak into the MCU. I wouldn't mind that, especially if we want to do some darker MCU, especially with that whole Doctor Strange horror thing. We can get some of these darker characters in. But for right now, who knows? The only thing we do know is that Spider-Man, Tom Holland, will be back in the MCU, which I am all happy for. What about you, folks? Are you excited for this? Did you think that Spider-Man was going to be back? Or did you think that he was going to be a Sony property forever? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, folks, thank you for joining me. I'm the Noob, and I'll catch you later. See ya!